Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you're new here, and I'm a mom of 4 little ones under the age of 6. I'm a stay-at-home mom, homemaker, and homesteader, all the fun things. But today I'm going to take you guys along my day as well as the next day. We're going to be doing a little bit of decluttering, a little bit of cleaning, washing sheets, just the overall homemaking things that have to get done and need to get done. And my kids' rooms really needed some tidying and cleaning, and I just love the fact that the rooms are so minimal because it just makes it so simple. So we're going to do that. It's kind of a 2-day vlog, and I just kind of film whenever I can and get clips here and there. So these 2 days my husband was working, so it was a little bit difficult for me to just have the camera out, and so that's why I got clips from this day and then the next day, so I can kind of throw together a video, and that's kind of how I've been doing it, and it's been working out really great. So I was actually just getting Taylor and I's coffees ready. He was actually home this morning and was going into work later in the afternoon, and I love to make a Americano. I don't add sugar or sweetener or milk or cream. It is just espresso and water, and this has been my go-to coffee for the past, I think, almost 4 years, and it is my favorite. So this is what I drink: a cup of coffee in the morning, and then sometimes in the afternoon I'll have an Americano again, just for that afternoon slump. So after our cozy morning, Taylor built a fire, kind of just enjoyed our slow morning, and then went about the day, and then before we knew it, it was lunchtime. And I actually have been trying to meal prep a little bit better, and lunch is something that I don't really meal prep. I kind of just use what we have on hand, and I actually was kind of craving something cozy, and I love grilled cheese and ham with tomato soup. And typically I will buy Aldi's tomato soup, but we were shopping at Walmart, and I decided to try Walmart's. This is the market side tomato soup, and it was actually really good. I would love to learn how to make our own, but I'm just not in that season of life right now. So just an easy lunch was pre-made soup and homemade grilled cheese and ham sandwiches. And so that's what we made, and everyone loved it. They devoured it. I honestly haven't made this and probably since last winter. It's definitely one of those meals that I think is kind of a wintry meal, and this was a great go-to lunch. It really filled everyone up, and they loved it. And I get questions on our cast iron skillets quite a bit. We've actually had these since we got married. We got these as wedding gifts, and this is literally all I use, you guys. These were always sitting on my stove, and it is all I use. And I love to cook, and whenever you cook all the time, you know what you like, and cast iron is the way to go in my opinion. And I love it because it's pretty non-stick. Once you get it seasoned really well, it will do you so many favors. And we make eggs in our cast iron. We do pasta meals and all the meats, like anything you can imagine happens in these cast iron skillets. And I am planning on doing a minimalist kitchen tour soon. I just have not got around to it. It's one of those things that you have to plan, and then you have to make sure the kids are outside playing with Taylor or something, so that way the house is quiet. But for now, I can just mention certain things here and there. But also, okay, so these are the stainless steel bowls. These are insulated, and so they do not get hot on the bottom. I will link our plates and our bowls. Now, I did get questions on the plates. So they have a really large lip around them, and they work so well for little ones to carry to the table. And so I hope that answers some questions. Okay, so Ivy and Roy share this little room. Ivy has her big girl bed, and she's got a bumper on it. And then Roy has the crib that we've had since Noble was a baby. And so all of my babies have slept in that crib. It's the IKEA crib. I think it's the Snigler crib, which is like the most inexpensive, simple crib ever, and I absolutely love it. And then Ivy's little twin bed is a IKEA bed as well. And it is so perfect for her, you guys. She can easily climb into it, and Roy can climb up there, and it's not far off the ground. And I absolutely love these two beds. So it was time to wash sheets. Ivy really needed her sheets washed, and so she was such a sweet helper. And so I was really trying to get sheets washed and the floors vacuumed and cleaned, as well as Roy. He really needed his sheets washed and his sleep sack, and they each have their own like little baby blanket. All of my kids have a baby blanket. And so that's really what I was focusing on throughout the day when I had time, was just trying to get the kids' rooms tidied. And the boys' room kind of transitioned over into the next day, and you'll see that in this video. But the floor, this room really doesn't get very dirty because it's at the back of the house, but the rug was starting to show dirt all over it, and I was like, okay, we've really got to get this cleaned up and vacuumed. And I really have learned that vacuuming is so much quicker than sweeping. And our vacuum, I think it's a Bissell, I honestly don't know, but it has two settings. It has a carpet setting and then a hard floor setting. And so I will use the carpet setting when I'm doing rugs because it sucks everything up really fast. And then the hard floor setting I will use on our tile. And that way I don't have to get the broom out or anything. I can just easily whip through this room and vacuum the whole floor, and then it's done and it looks really good. So that is what I was working on today, and I'm so glad I got this accomplished and checked off my to-do list. At this point, I was like, might as well vacuum the hallway since I'm over here and get this done. And this hallway doesn't really get very dirty, especially once we put this runner down, which I will link below if it's still available, but it's from Amazon and I absolutely love it. It's a washable rug, but I haven't had to wash it. I've had it in here since October and it's worked out so well. I love the red because it hides any sort of stain or dirt, which is what you want when you have 4 kids. But if you guys followed me throughout Vlogtober, you guys can probably go back and watch it. I did this little hallway makeover. This was a pretty outdated hallway, and I really have loved how it turned out, and it's so fresh. So at this point, I moved on to the boys' room. This was the next day, and finally getting around to doing their room and getting Noble's sheets washed. I had washed Fields, I think, a couple days prior to this, and I really needed to get Noble's done. And so usually I'll throw all the kids' sheets in the wash at the same time, but for some reason I did not do that this time, which is fine. But I was really trying to get their room tidied, and they actually share this little room, and I will link the video to this little bedroom makeover, and you guys can watch that because this was such a fun room to make over, and they absolutely loved the room. So I really try to keep their room pretty minimal because it is so small. This used to be, like, I don't know if it was an office off the side of the house or what. We converted the door to a window. My husband and father-in-law did that. And so there's a window in here now instead of a door. But it's such a small space, but it works for our boys because being a minimalist family, we don't have a lot of stuff, and the kids have pretty minimal toys. We do toy rotation. We keep a lot of their stuff out in the shop if they're not playing with it. And that is actually one thing that the boys and I did the morning of this video. I don't know why I didn't get it on camera, but I came in here and we moved the books from this little tiny bookcase over to the big bookcase. And then I actually went through all the books with them and I said, which ones do you like? Which ones do you not like? And they ended up getting rid of quite a big stack of books that I honestly had no idea they didn't care for. And that was pretty good. And then also we sacked up some toys that they said that they didn't want to play with right now. And so we put those in a sack and put them in the shop. So right now, the toys are pretty minimal right now. We're probably going to get out Magna-Tiles again, but we'll see. Okay, also, the boys really needed a hamper. And so I purchased this one from Amazon. And that way, when they get undressed and dressed, then they have a place to put their dirty clothes, because it was getting to the point where they were just throwing them all over the floor and it was really bothering me. So a new habit we're working on. Okay, so getting to the decluttering part of this video, I actually have decided there's quite a few books that I just haven't read in several years, or I thought I would read again, or I would eventually read, and it's been like 2 years since I've touched any of these reading wise. And so I decided, okay, you know what? We have a library locally. If there's a book that I absolutely want to read, I can go check it out. Or Amazon is pretty easy to navigate and order a new book. But honestly, I really want to work on our library, like checking books out from them. Because these shelves right here are really close to the ground. So Roy, he's finally at an age where he can just kind of crawl up here, and he likes to just toss books off these shelves. And so I was kind of at the point of like, okay, we need to move these because I do not want to be cleaning up books every single day. And if you are a mom of a toddler, you totally understand that. Toddlers like to just pull books off bookshelves. It's like a fun, stimulating game for them. So I was over it. So here I am just kind of going through my books, seeing what I love, seeing what I want to keep, what I know I for sure probably am not going to read again, and just trying to be really picky because I really just wanted to limit the space and limit the amount of books that I had to this one bookshelf, aside from these 3 shelves that I didn't want, the littles to just be chunking books off. So I'm actually pretty impressed. I sacked up like 3 sacks of books. Some of them I was giving back to a family member that they had given me that I didn't get to. And yeah, it honestly felt so good to declutter this bookshelf, and I'm really, really pleased with the end result. Well, thank you guys so much for coming with me along on this 2-day vlog of homemaking and decluttering. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe. I have been working to get 2 new videos out a week on minimalism, homemaking, and motherhood. And it has been so fun getting videos out for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye.